Open your book to page 309. This is lesson 11.2. This is factoring by grouping. So previously we did the step 1, right, common factor. So now we're going to do step 2, special factor. So we're going to go ahead with this one first, grouping. So grouping when you have more than 3 terms. So you got 2 terms, 3 terms, and more. Right? So let's go and do that. So let's go to example 1. So you got ax plus ay plus bx plus by. So again, you go through the checklist, right? So step 1, common factor. Can you factor the a? No, because there's no a. Remember, in order to factor common factor, you have to have it in every term, right? So you cannot do the a because there's no a over here to factor. You cannot do the b because there are no b over here. You cannot do the x because these two don't have an x. You cannot do the y because these two don't have a y. So step 1, common factor cannot. So you go to step 2, special factor. So you have more than 3 terms, so you have to do the grouping technique. So when you're doing the grouping, normally what you do is whatever you have is whatever you see is just go and do it that way. Just go and group that. And when you get stuck, then you can reshuffle the terms. Okay, so you just group the first 2. So basically what happens is that you have one big long problems, you're going to break into 2 smaller problems. And so they're a bit easier. And when you break into groups, right, you always put a plus in between the group, always. Okay, so this plus, you always put a plus between the group. Okay, and you're going to get plus bx plus by. So this plus goes in here. So this plus is not that plus. Okay, just go and separate it. Okay, so now you have 2 smaller problems to do. Okay, so let's go and do each one. So you know this how to. So now you go back to step 1. Okay, because right now it's like 2 small new problems to do. So for this one, again, step 1, common factor. You got both have the a, so you can factor the a. So you got x plus y. Right? So now let's go and do the second one over here. So this one, you can factor the b, so you're going to be plus, and you factor the b. Now if there's a negative over here, if this is a negative, then you have to factor the negative. Okay, so this one you factor the b, so you're going to get x plus y. So after you're done with your group, once you're done with your factoring, then you can bring the 2 groups back together. So now notice these 2 groups, you have something in common, right? You have the x plus y, you have x plus y, right? So we can do the common factor. So go back to step 1, you can take this out. So you're going to get x plus y, right? Again, so you factor it out. So when you factor means you divide, you canceling it out. So you're going to get a plus b left over. Okay. So again, when you factor means you're dividing. So when you divide, so you cancel, it becomes 1, right? And so that's your answer. So your answer would be x plus y, a plus b. Now you can, it doesn't matter which group comes first. You can have an a plus b in the front, okay? But just go by what you have, and then you should be okay. Okay, let's go to example 2. On page 310, you got 2x squared plus 6xy minus 3x minus 9y. So again, normally what you see is what you get. So usually you don't waste time shuffling unless you get stuck. So if it doesn't work, if nothing can factor, then you can regroup. You can like group these 2 together and these 2 together later on. Okay? But if it worked, then you group it correctly. Okay, so again, you just go ahead and group that, and whatever you see, put a plus in between. And you got minus 3x minus 9y, right? Okay, so now so again you break a big long problem into 2 smaller problems. Okay, so now let's go and do this one over here. So this one you can factor out the 2 and the x, right? So again, look at the problem, right? 2 and 6 can factor out the 2. You got x squared and x, so you can factor out the x. So you're going to get x, and you can check, right? 2x times x give you 2x squared. Plus 3y, right? 2 times 3 give you 6. X times y give you xy. So it's always a good idea to do a quick check. So now you're done with the first half. Now let's do the second half. Okay, now remember, whenever you have negative, you have to factor out a negative, right? So you got negative 3 and negative 9. So you're going to factor out a negative 3. So when you factor out a negative 3 and the plus will give you, negative 3 times plus give you minus 3, right? Again, negative and plus give you minus. So when you factor out a negative 3, it's gone, so you're going to get x. When you factor out a negative 3, you're going to get minus 3y. Double check. Negative 3 times negative is wrong, right? So that's why you want to double check to make sure, right? So negative 3 times negative 3 does not give you that. So it should be a plus. So negative 3 times plus 3 give you negative 9, right? So you can double check, do a quick check to make sure you got it right. And now once you're done, then you can bring the two groups together. So notice you got x plus 3y, x plus 3y, right? So you can factor that out. So you're going to get x plus 3y. And you're going to get 2x. I'm going to put it in here, minus 3. And so that's your answer already. The reason I do that is so you don't have to stretch it out and you have to rewrite it, right? Like this over here. So you know that after do it a few times, you know that this is how to be in it, right? With 2x minus 3. So again, when you factor, it means you're dividing, means it's gone. It means you divide. So it's gone already. Okay? So the leftover would be 2x minus 3. Okay, let's go to example 3. Example 3 has AB minus B plus A minus 1. So again, you make sure you go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor. So check. Can you factor the number? No. There's no number, no number, no number. Okay, then you go down the alphabet. Can you factor the A? Cannot, because there's no A, there's no A. Can you factor the B? No, there's no B, there's no B. Right? So that's your step 1, common factor. So once you check, you cannot, then you go to step 2. Right? So step 2, there are 4 terms, right? See? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 terms. So you got 2, 3, 2 terms, 3 terms, more than 3. So you have to use a grouping. Okay. So again, when you're doing the grouping, you're going to get A, B minus B. Right? Again, remember to put a plus. Put a plus between the group. If you don't put a plus, it becomes multiplication. Then it would be wrong. Right? Okay, so again, let's go ahead and do each group. So this one, you got B and a B, so you can factor the B. So you got A minus 1, right? Again, when you factor means you divide. So B divided by B is 1. And you can check, right? B times A is AB. B times minus 1 is minus B. Now let's go and do this side over here. Okay, this one cannot factor, so just leave it alone. Okay, now after you're done factoring each group, then you can bring them back together. So notice you have the A minus 1, right? So you can go and factor it out. So you get A minus 1. And when you factor, means you're dividing. So when you divide, you get 1, right? Divide by that, you get 1. So your leftover would be B plus 1. Okay? Again, when you factor, it's not 0, okay, it's 1. Because you're dividing by itself. And you can check, right? A minus 1 times B, right? This times that will give you this, right? And this times that will give you that, right? So if you don't have anything, then you won't be able to get that. Okay. And so this is the answer for example 3.